John and Mary stood at the altar, eyes locked in a gaze that spoke of eternal love. Their joy radiated, warming the hearts of all present. They were the epitome of a perfect couple, their happiness almost tangible. The ceremony concluded, and they embarked on their new life together. Their honeymoon was a whirlwind of exotic locales and shared laughter. Each day felt like a stolen moment in paradise.
Mary, you are my everything.
John, ever the charmer, showered Mary with affection. Mary, in return, basked in his love, feeling like the luckiest woman alive. They returned home, eager to start their life together, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface. Little did Mary know, a shadow from John's past lurked around the corner, threatening to shatter their idyllic life. The man of her dreams harbored a secret, one that could change everything. Their new home was a testament to their love. A quaint cottage, nestled amidst lush greenery, it was the perfect haven. The walls, painted in soft hues, echoed with laughter. John had a knack for interior design. He'd transformed the house into a cozy love nest, each corner reflecting their shared dreams.
I love our home, John. It's perfect.
Mary busied herself with unpacking, carefully placing John's childhood photos in a vintage album. Each picture told a story, a glimpse into his past, or so she thought. As she arranged the photos, one picture caught her eye. It was of John, much younger. His arms slung around a woman Mary didn't recognize. The woman's face was obscured, hidden in the shadows. Mary tried to ignore the flicker of unease that shot through her. It was probably just an old friend. Yet something about the picture felt off, leaving a knot of worry in her stomach. And days morphed into weeks, each day filled with shared moments and quiet intimacy. Yet the photo continued to haunt Mary. John, usually an open book, became evasive when she mentioned it.
John, who is the woman in this photo?
He'd brush it off, a strange look crossing his face. His usual cheerfulness seemed strained, his laughter lacking its usual depth. Mary tried to convince herself it was just wedding stress. Perhaps he was just tired, but deep down a seed of doubt had been planted. It grew with each passing day, fueled by John's evasiveness and those fleeting moments of unease. The once unshakable foundation of their relationship began to tremble, threatened by the specter of an unknown past.
Why won't he just tell me?
One evening, while John was at work, Mary found a dusty box tucked away in the attic. Curiosity piqued, she opened it. Inside, she found a bundle of old letters tied together with a faded ribbon. They were addressed to John, the handwriting unfamiliar. With trembling fingers, Mary reached for the letters, a sense of foreboding washing over her. Later that evening, a jarring ring shattered the tranquility of their dinner. John froze mid-sentence, his face draining of all colour. He glanced at his phone, the screen flashing an unknown number. His hand trembled as he reached for it, his usual cheer replaced by a palpable dread.
Hello?
His voice was a strained whisper, barely audible. Mary watched him, her heart pounding in her chest. Who was he so afraid of? The conversation was short, clipped. John's responses were monosyllabic, his face a mask of anxiety. Mary's mind raced, conjuring up images of shadowy figures and hidden truths.
John, who was that?
She asked, her voice trembling. John, his face still pale, mumbled a vague response about a work colleague. But his eyes, wide with an unspoken fear, betrayed his words.
Just a colleague, Mary. Nothing to worry about.
But Mary knew better. The unsettling phone call had only deepened her suspicions. That night, sleep eluded Mary. The mysterious phone call, John's evasive behavior, and the hidden letters. The pieces of the puzzle swirled in her mind. Unable to shake off the growing unease, she crept into the attic, drawn to the box of letters like a moth to a flame.
I have to know what's in these letters.
She picked up a letter, the paper brittle with age. Her eyes scanned the words, each sentence a hammer blow to her heart.
The letters are from a woman named Anna. They speak of a deep love, of shared dreams, and a future together. Who is this woman, and what was her relationship with John?
The letters hinted at a past that John had kept hidden, a past that threatened to destroy everything. Mary's world crumbled around her. The man she loved, the man who had vowed to spend his life with her, had lied to her. The weight of his betrayal pressed down on her, threatening to suffocate her.
How could he do this to me? How could he keep this from me?
Mary's heart ached with the realization that her life, her marriage, was built on secrets and lies.
I don't know what to do. I feel so lost.
And in that moment, the future seemed more uncertain than ever. The next morning, John found Mary in the living room. She sat by the window, the box of letters on the table beside her, her face pale and drawn. He knew. The truth hung heavy in the air between them, a suffocating blanket of deceit.
Mary?
John began, his voice barely a whisper, but Mary cut him off, her voice shaking with a mixture of anger and heartbreak.
Who is Anna?
The question hung in the air, sharp and accusing. John flinched, his eyes downcast. He had no answers, or rather no answers he was willing to give. Mary's heart shattered into a million pieces. The love of her life, the man she had trusted with her heart and soul, had betrayed her. The life they had built, the future she had dared to dream of, crumbled before her eyes. Cornered, John finally confessed. Anna hadn't been just a lover, she had been his wife. Years ago, tragedy struck. Anna was diagnosed with a terminal illness. She passed away shortly after, leaving John utterly heartbroken. He never spoke of her, the pain too raw to confront. When he met Mary, he found himself falling in love again. He yearned for a fresh start, a chance at happiness. But the fear of hurting Mary, of tainting their love with his tragic past, kept him silent. He had buried his secret deep within, hoping to shield Mary from his pain. But some secrets refused to stay buried. Mary listened to his confession, her heart a mixture of anger, betrayal, and a strange sense of sympathy. She saw the pain in his eyes, the guilt that gnawed at him, and in that moment she understood. The truth had shattered their picture-perfect life. The revelation of Anna's existence left a gaping wound in their relationship. Trust, once unbreakable, now hung by a thread. Mary couldn't erase the image of John with another, couldn't bear the thought of sharing him, even in memory. The following days were strained, punctuated by awkward silences and unspoken accusations. John, racked with guilt, tried to reach out to explain his silence, but every word felt hollow, every touch laced with betrayal. Mary withdrew, retreating into herself, unsure if she could ever forgive him. The once vibrant laughter that filled their home was replaced by a deafening silence. The ghost of Anna lingered in every corner, a constant reminder of John's deception. One evening, Mary found John packing a suitcase. He was leaving, giving her the space she obviously needed. As he stood at the doorway, his eyes filled with unshed tears, Mary stopped him. She saw the remorse etched on his face, the love that still flickered in his eyes, and for the first time since the revelation, she saw a glimmer of hope. The road to healing wouldn't be easy. The scars of John's deception ran deep. But Mary knew that love, true love, meant fighting for each other even when it hurt. Maybe, just maybe, they could rebuild the trust that had been broken brick by painful brick. They had a long way to go, but at that moment, standing at the precipice of uncertainty, they chose to take the first step towards forgiveness. As John reached for Mary's hand, a silent promise passed between them. They would face the future together, their love tested but not broken, forever bound by their shared past.